Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mano 777, and we're back inside of Destiny. It's Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016, and it's time for your weekly reset video here in Destiny. This week, this is going to cover all the endgame content you can do this week, including the Nightfall, the raid, strikes, everything you can do this week. So with that, let's get started. We are here in the Nightfall. We have the Fallen Saber strike here on Earth. We're going to locate the site referenced in Rasputin's distress signal. The active modifiers this week are going to feature Epic, Fresh Troops, where some enemy squads have been fortified with some additional reinforcements, Match Game, where enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage, Airborne, where players deal more damage while in the air, Catapult, grenade recharge rate is greatly increased. So no burns this week, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, it makes it a little bit harder to choose what kind of weapons you want to bring. I'd say bring snipers of all different sorts. I'd also say make sure you bring your swords with you. The biggest thing that you're going to have when you're actually doing this Nightfall is going through, you can see those three are going off to do that, but is that opening area where you're going to have to defend the war sat. That's going to be the one area where you're going to have to choose your engagements really wisely. Again, I'd say bring a sword just to make sure that you can get those short range engagements taken care of, and I'd bring a sniper to take care of long range engagements. And then your favorite primary, I would say something definitely with explosive rounds. Even though Match Game is on, since we don't have anything, say for example, that makes it so they don't flinch, having something with explosive rounds will make it a lot easier to manage. So that is the Nightfall for this week. Let's go out to orbit and see what else there is to do in Destiny this week. Let's go through the directory. Of course, we already went over the weekly Nightfall strike. The weekly Siva Crisis Heroic playlist is going to feature Heroic Solar Burn, Small Arms, and Ironclad. So that's going to be really good for farming, especially when you've got your when you've got any kind of a solar weapon and you've got your favorite primary. That's going to be a lot of fun to do. You can farm pretty easily for those. Definitely, I would say if you can go in with a Celestial Nighthawk on your Hunter, if you want to farm there, that's going to make killing the bosses really easy. That's going to be very nice. Of course, you can get a Radiant Treasure package, which will give you some kind of an ornament for your weapon. That's what you've got this week. The daily heroic story is Open the Forgotten Archives at Clovis Bray and search for a way to defend against Siva. The daily competitive multiplayer is Supremacy, but most importantly, we want to figure out what the weekly Crucible is going to be this week. We have doubles, which is pretty cool, and then we have the return of Mayhem Clash, which is exciting. You can go farm lots of Crucible packages and things like that. Mayhem Clash games are really fast. Mayhem Clash is one of my favorite game types that you can do. Mayhem Clash straight up is a blast. Essentially, embrace the chaos, greatly increased ability recharge rates, faster special and heavy ammo spawns, no respawn delay, scoring values multiplied by 10. So a blast there. And I'm hoping that there will be something at the tower that will back that. Maybe having Clash on your weekly Crucible will be amazing, but we'll go check that out here in a second. Of course, if you go over to the Reef, you can check out the Prison of the Elders. The modifiers this week are very similar to the Nightfall. We've got Fresh Troops, melee kill bonus, and most importantly, we've got Airborne. So when you're in the air, you're going to have a lot of abilities to kill people a little bit faster. So stay in the air when you're up there. Round 1 is going to feature Psylocke the Defiled with the add-ons of Hive. Round 2 is going to feature the Pilot Servitor with the add-ons of Fallen. And round 3, Narusk Servant Aurorix. That's the Cabal Taken boss with the add-ons of Cabal themselves. So again, if you farm for the actual House of Judgment packages, that will give you appropriate light level gear. So Challenge the Elders is something you can actually keep doing. Prison of the Elders this week will also give you Sterling Treasure packages. No modifiers there. Let's go over to the raid. This week we have AKSIS Challenge. AKSIS Challenge is actually pretty simple. What you need to do when you're completing AKSIS Challenge mode is every single time that AKSIS teleports, one of the plates on the back side and one of the areas where he can teleport in the back are actually going to shine red. And what you can do is, if you're empowered, you can actually smash and get what's called overcharge, and you can get everyone on the team their supers back. You have to do that on every single rotation, every single time he teleports. So that is the AKSIS challenge mode for this week. You can do that on normal and hard, so that will get you some pretty nice stuff. That's going to get you an extra chance at getting chest pieces. It's going to give you an extra chance at getting helmets and primaries, as well as the ship, which is a blast to have. So that is the AKSIS challenge this week. If you do need help, come check out my Twitch live streams. I bring people through the raids all the time. I'll be doing a ton of raids, especially every day except for probably Thursday, since it's going to be Thanksgiving, just to let you know what my schedule is. Let's go over and take care of the last couple of things to talk about this week in Destiny. Okay, we're over at Lord Shaxx. Let's figure out what he has for us this week in terms of a bounty. And yes, we do have exercise your skills in the clash match type. Now, the one thing that's going to be a challenge here is getting primary kills. So do make sure you take some time to get lots of primary kills while you're doing the Mayhem clash. I know it's going to want to be one of those things where you just want to use your abilities all the time, but that's the number one thing that I find that I'm having issues with when I'm completing these weekly Crucible bounties, is getting those primary kills, especially because shotguns are so prevalent. You know, you don't usually use your primary weapons because you're using shotguns, honestly, or you know, if you're really solid and you're from a distance, you're gonna use snipers. But honestly, primary kills is something you're gonna have to look for. So take some time to take care of that. Make sure you pick that up this week, and let's go out to the Iron Temple to figure out what he has in terms of artifacts, as well as the Shiro 4 bounties. All right, we're here at Fellwinter Peak. Let's see what we have in terms of artifacts this week and see if it is worth getting, and see what the artifacts reset is. So to go over to Tyra Karn and saying hello to her this morning, we've got the Memory of Yolder with a discipline and strength roll that removes the sprint cooldown penalty. This is an excellent roll this week because it has discipline and strength. I think the first roll that we ever saw in Memory of Yolder was just strength, so definitely pick that one up this week if you don't have it. Next up, we have the Memory of Silumar, which is going to, in the Crucible, resistance to damage over time attacks is greatly increased. It just has discipline. I would skip that this week. It's not a very good roll, unless if you really want to max out your grenades because of the discipline. And then finally, Memory of Scory is an excellent roll this week. We've got the possibility of discipline being 89. Definitely going to pick that up here right now. That's a really great pickup this week if you have not gotten that. When your super is full, nearby allies supercharge really fast. And what's nice about that is an intellect discipline roll. I believe it has only come with a discipline strength roll since then. So Memory of Scory is the one to pick up this week. Secondary, if you've got some extra ones like I do, I've just kind of been storing them up, is get that Memory of Yolder. Do not necessarily pick up the Memory of Silumar unless if you're just trying to get all 9 of your Iron Lord's stuff taken care of. So next, let's go down over here where Shiro 4 is and check out what he has for us this week in terms of bounties. Again, you can complete patrol. I've already did this this corrupted land. That's the weekly patrol playlist, by the way, or patrol quest line. Some people were a little bit confused about what that is in the Rise of Iron record book. If you go over to the Iron Lord Rising, the patrol with it, some people were confused. That's what this is, the Plague Lander. That's to complete the weekly patrol quest. So just so you know that's what that is every week. I've had some people ask me, how do you get that? How do you complete that? Next up, we have use arc damage to kill Fallen. That is very simple this week. Very easy to do. A great way to get your Vanguard Scout bounties taken care of. Kill Fallen Majors and Ultras. Definitely pick that up before you go into the raid. Next up, complete Captain encounters in the Archon's Forge, as well as complete Servitor encounters in the Archon's Forge. Some really good stuff this week. We've got intellect rolls on the Mantle of Perun for your Hunter. Jolder's Iron Sash, Yolder's Iron Sash. Discipline and Strength roll this week, 35, 32. Okay, not great. And then Fellwinter's Iron Bond for Warlocks is 33, 34. So nothing crazy there, nothing that's maxed out, but I always like to check that every week. So guys, that is your weekly reset for this week, November 22nd. Again, if you need some help with the raid or anything else like that, or if you just want to jam in Mayhem Clash with me later on this week, check out my Twitch live streams. If you like something in this video, hit that subscribe button for more Rise of Iron content. Again, if you like something, leave a comment down below. Hit that like button if you found it something that you liked and enjoyed. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time in the universe of Destiny.